Hello, music producers, and welcome to part 4 of this FL Studio beginner tutorial series. In part 1, we talked about an introduction to FL Studio and a basic overview of everything. In part 2, we went in depth in the channel rack. In part 3, we talked about the piano roll. And here in part 4, we're going to be talking about the playlist. I'm going to be going over every major function you need to know about the playlist to start creating music the way you want to. Okay, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, okay, there's a link in the description to go ahead and watch that. It's good for you to watch it so that you can be updated on what we've covered already. All right, so like I stated in the part 1 of this series, okay, the playlist is where you arrange your patterns, where you arrange the patterns you've created, okay, into a song. Okay, so up on the top left right here, you have the playlist options. Okay, right here in the edit, we have an option to cut, copy, paste, duplicate, and do a whole lot of editing. You have an option to change the view. You can change the grid color. So over here, we have the snap tool. So what this snap tool does is it just allows us to control the way we move the patterns right here in the playlist. Okay, if we select none right here, okay, then it's no longer bound to any grid. You can just move it anyhow you want to. All right, then we have these tools right here, and I've explained this in the previous video when we talked about the piano roll. As you can see, they are very similar. The only difference is this slip tool that we have right here, and it was replaced with the paint in drum mode. Okay, these are the only two things that are different, but let me just quickly go over them right here in this video. So the draw tool you can just use to click and move the tools. Okay, then you can also right click to delete. All right, the paint tool is similar to the draw tool. You can click and move. The major difference is when you click and you drag, you can paint patterns like that. Then we have the delete, and what this does is that it just quickly deletes anything we have. All right, then we have the mute, and once we select this, you can see that it just kind of mutes that particular audio clip that is being selected. Okay, now next up we have the slip tool. So with the slip tool, you can see we can slide. We don't need to. We can slide the notes without moving the pattern itself. And then next up we have the slice tool, and the slice tool you can just use that to cut the patterns into different parts. The next up we have the select tool, and you can just use this to select multiple clips at once. Then we have the zoom tool. Then we have the playback tool right here, which just once you click on it, it plays from that particular portion you've clicked on, and once you release it just stops. And then we have the play and the pause button right here. Next to this we have this arrangement, and this arrangement is just you can see we can add a new arrangement, and the arrangement is just different versions of the song you've created. Like I said, the patterns, we already have our patterns, and then is here we arrange those patterns into a song. So with a new arrangement, if we add a new arrangement, we can now make a different arrangement of the patterns that we've already created. All right, so and then we have our clip and we have our pattern selector where we can select the different patterns we want to work on right here. All right, so before we go further, I just want to show you guys something that is very, very important and that will help you a lot. If we go over to our browser right here and we select demo projects, okay, and we open demo songs, okay, you can see we have a whole lot of files here, and all these are FL Studio, are songs actually, and that were created in FL Studio, and you have the project files right here, and you can actually just right click on any of them and open them, okay, and it opens the whole project for you. All right, so I have this project open right now. As you can see, the whole lot of is looking very, very colorful, and you can see the whole lot of buttons and options and colors that have been created right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and explain everything that is going on right here. So I've already gone ahead to explain what's going on top here. But as you can see right here, we can go ahead and click on this to change into the differences. You can see the different patterns that are here, the audio clips that are here, the automations are here also. All right, so if we look to our left right here, we have the picker panel. All right, as you can see, if I hover over this and we look at our hint panel, you can see that there is the picker patterns, we have the picker audio clips, and we have the picker automation clips. Now if you have no idea what automation clips are, these are automation clips right here, and they just automatically control knobs while the song is being played. For example, let's say you want to just do a simple volume up, simple like you just want the volume to rise up as the song is going down, as the song is being playing. you can automatically just control that knob to move up, and that's just what an automation clip is. It just does that for you. All right, and then an audio clip is just like this kind of vocal. Now it's an audio clip, this kind of riser at the beginning. Okay, it's an audio clip, and all this can, you see some kind of drum loops and other things. Okay, so all these are audio clips. Since that are not pattern related, all these ones here are patterns. Okay, these are patterns that are created. If I double click on this now, you'll see that it opens in the piano roll for us. Okay, you can see you have the pattern. This is a pattern. All right, so as you can see, as I click on the audio, you can see it switches to the picker audio clip. And if I click on an automation, you can see that it switches to the picker automation clips, and it actually highlights the automation clip that was selected. So what you can actually do from the picker panel is you can actually just click and drag the patterns you've created right here from the picker panel into the playlist. Okay, so it's very handy to have them instead of you always kind of going up here to start switching between the different patterns. You can just name them like we have here and just simply just drag them and just drag them in. It's just a very, very handy tool that we have going on right here. All right, then here you can affect, you can go ahead and drag this out to zoom it. You can go ahead and zoom in. You can slide this. All right, you can also do that right here with this scroll right here. You can scroll up and down, and right here at the corner, you can just go ahead and click and drag to zoom in and out. All right, so I'm just going to scroll down a bit, all right, to where we have an empty view. As you can see on the right, we have different tracks with numbers. You can see we have track 34. And what you can do right here, you can click on a layer, on a track, okay? And you can see we have a few options right here. First of all, you can see we have the rename color and icon. Okay, you can click on this to rename that particular track. Okay, I'm just gonna name this drums. And you can click on this gray icon here to change the color. Okay, you can click on accept this. All right. And one thing you can always do is you can also click on this drop down menu right here, and you can see you have an option for an icon. All right, so for the drums, you can just maybe click a snare or a kick. Okay, so once you do that, you can now click this button right here, and it does that for us, which is very similar to what we have going on right here. All right, then next to that, you can see we have change color, which just changes the color. Okay, you can still go ahead and change the color. All right, and then we have change icon. Okay, you can still go ahead and do that. This option just gives us everything into one, but we can still go ahead and do them individually. Then we have this green icon right here, which is just a mute button. We can go ahead and we can left click to mute that audio, or we can right click to actually solo it. Okay, so if I'm to go back up here and just right click on this first one, you can see that I have just gone ahead to solo this vocal we have right here. Darkness turns to light. If I go ahead and click on this, I just solo this. Okay, and I can also click on it again to just bring everything back. Okay, so next up, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new pattern right here. You can see pattern 23. And I'm just going to do something very simple right here. Okay, nothing too complex. I'm just going to click this right here. Okay. So you can see we have a pattern 3, and you can see depending on the color that we've selected right here, it colors that particular pattern. Okay, like if I'm to change the color of this now to maybe a purple or something, you can see it also changes the color right here. But you can see the name, the top here, it still remains the same. So you can actually rename the patterns. Okay, right here you can go ahead and do this. You can rename and color. You can still name these drums. Okay, you can still go ahead and change the color. Okay, and once we do that, we can see it then changes. Right, so if we look up here, we can see we have this arrow, which if we click on it, it expands. Okay, it expands to everything, and we can still click on it to reduce it. And this is just like a group. You can group similar tracks. As you can see, this is just the vocals. Okay, if I'm to solo all this, all right, you can hear that these are just the vocals. It's not too late to fight, the game has just begun. All right, so to do this is actually very simple. Okay, all you need to do is that you need to have the first, like for example, now this first one right here is like the head of the group. Okay, so you need to know which one is that, and then the next track under that, Okay, you can see with group with above track, and once we click on that, you can see it now gives us this option right here, which you can then use to reduce and expand it. So for example, if I'm just to click create something like this, you can see once I click on it, you can see it just reduces that one like that. And you can also do this for the rest also. You can still do the same thing, group with above track, and over here group with above track, and as you can see we have them right here. You can always squash them like that. All right, then we can also go ahead and click on this auto color group. Okay, and what it does is that it just goes ahead to color this remaining layers, remaining tracks that are in that group. It colors them with the same color right here. So if I'm just click on that auto color group, you can see it just goes ahead to color all the tracks. Basically, with these tools I've explained, you can actually go ahead and create songs, okay, the way you want to. So what I want you to do right now is just to get check out this project right here. Okay, some of them may actually look very complex, but it just gives you an idea of the behind the scenes of what professional songs sound like and look like. Okay, another thing you should do is go over to the FL Studio manual, okay, and just to read this through. Okay, it covers actually a whole lot of things. I've explained some of them. Some of them I didn't explain because some of them are kind of more advanced. Okay, but it just gives you an overview of everything that you need to know. All right, guys, so that'll be it for this video. If you did like this video and you gained a lot from it, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos and contents that I post for you guys. Till meet again, guys, stay safe and see you in the next one.